Rolling. Action.
Since the dawn of digital filmmaking,
Authoritative.
one show serves a worldwide network of media professionals,
Current.
uniting industry experts,
Production.
filmmakers,
Post-production.
and content creators around the planet.
Distribution.
From the media capital of the world in Los Angeles, California, the Digital Production Buzz goes live now.
And welcome to the Digital Production Buzz, the world's longest-running podcast for creative content producers covering media production, post-production, marketing, and distribution around the world. Hi, my name is Larry Jordan, and joining us is our co-host, Mr.
Michael
Mike
Horton.
It's amazing.
Horton. Just sent in my new contract today. I re-signed for 3 years.
Is that what we were doing today?
Yeah.
And you said it was just an autograph that you needed.
I re-signed for 3 years, Larry. You got me for 3 more years.
Oh, that's good news, by the way.
You're speechless, aren't you? I don't know what to say.
We've got an Australian theme to our show this week.
It is. It's all Aussies.
You can be quiet now.
Okay.
Craig Ratcliffe of Craig Ratcliffe Photography is based in Brisbane, Australia. His work includes advertising, classic portraiture, and lifestyles. Tonight he shares his thoughts on current trends in photography. Craig, do you find yourself planning shoots differently? Because back when you were shooting film, even though you really had, to many people, an unlimited film budget, you still didn't shoot anywhere near the number of images you shoot now digitally. Do you plan shoots differently now that they're digital?
I try to think of it that I'm still using film, but the habit, as it is with many photographers, is that you do overshoot. And of course, there were budgets for the amount of film you could shoot. You know, a 120 roll of film wasn't all that cheap, especially if you had to process it. Although I did have an E6 processor towards the end, and a photocomposite service. We would do sometimes 18-element photocomposites. I had an in-house retoucher and photocompositor. So when it came to the shift to digital, and now these days when you can work in layers, and I kind of understand it very well, because you're essentially doing the same thing.
And then, a gentleman who is well known to Mr. Horton, Dan Berube, along with Mike Horton, is the co-founder of the world-famous Supermeets. He's also a film producer in his own right, based in Boston. This evening, he takes us behind the scenes of the Supermeet, because Mike doesn't talk about that show at all.
Ever.
Dan, 14 years is a heck of a long time. What was it that encouraged you to start this with Mike all those years ago?
Oh my God. Well, it goes back to, again, I was doing Final Cut Pro consultations. I was working at the Apple Faneuil Hall Market Center. And I just basically decided to start doing another group. I was working with the Media 100 group. And then this thing called Final Cut just came out at NAB. That was software based and could use the FireWire DV port on your computer, and that was it for me. I was working for a public television series, and I moved and started my own company, and here I am today.
Colin Brown is a filmmaker. He's also from Brisbane, Australia, and talks about filmmaking for nonprofits. He has a lot of experience in both filmmaking and nonprofit charities, and I'm very much interested in his thoughts. Well, let's stay with nonprofits for just a bit. They needed help with branding, they needed help with marketing, they needed help. Basically, their heart's in the right spot, but it sounds like they just need direction. Is that
Pretty much.
Is that a true statement? And then if so, what advice do you give them? How can you enable a nonprofit to communicate their message to people that don't yet understand it?
I guess the thing with nonprofits is they get into a space where it's really competitive in terms of trying to get money. Everybody from the Ronald McDonald House to World Vision to Save the Children, everybody's trying to get everybody else, the general punter, the mums and dads and the company's money. So first of all, they have to realize that it's a competitive space. And then they have to realize that they need to get things in order in terms of approaching these companies. So corporates, if you like, to get sponsorship. So my advice would be to get things in order to make sure that you can present a case that is sellable and also buyable, if that makes sense.
The Digital Production Buzz is brought to you by Shutterstock.com, a global marketplace for royalty-free images and videos. And by Otherworld Computing, providing quality hardware solutions and extensive technical support to the worldwide computer industry since 1988.
These highlights are from the April 9th, 2015 edition of the Digital Production Buzz.